Hey Zwifters, welcome back to another Zwift Racing League Recon, and this week we're going to be talking about the second race of the finals. Sorry for the mistake on the last video about the whole point situation, and I made sure this time to get all the details correct so that I don't have to worry about people mistaking the video for the wrong information. Alright, so race 2 goes on 10 laps of the Glasgow crit circuit, and this is going to be a relatively short race actually, at only 18.9 miles. And first of all, let's talk about the course. So it's going to be the Glasgow crit circuit, which is a new course that was introduced for the UCI World Championships, and it's going to be 10 laps of that course, which are going to amount to 331 meters, and that is going to be around 1,085 feet. And then the three power-ups in play are going to be the feather boost, the aero boost, and the draft boost. So some of the fastest power-ups out there. And then for the FAL and FTS segment, we've got the champion sprint forward sprint, and the Clyde kicker forward climb. So this is going to be a pretty brutal race with all of these segments in the span of a 1.9 mile circuit, which this race is going to be held on. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting that like, subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. And with that, let's get on with the video. Alright, so for power-up usage, the best place to use the featherweight boost is going to be on the Clyde kicker, because that is really the only climb of this course. And then the best place to use the drafting boost is going to be either in the sprint or on one of the flat parts to really just get a nice solid recovery. And then in terms of the aero boost, that's going to be the most powerful in the finishing sprint, also called the champion sprint. So overall, the aero boost and the featherweight boost are going to be the most effective power-ups throughout this race. Alright, so now on to bike choice. Bike choice on this course is going to be pretty simple because aero does rule the day, because it does have so many descents and so many flat parts, so you really are not going to get any gains from using an all-arounder or just using a plain old climbing bike. So your best bet for most riders is going to be the Tron bike, and for some that's going to be the Canyon Aeroed, and for the top level Zwifters it is going to be the S-Works Venge disc with that disc wheel set from DT Swiss. So I'm going to pull that up real quick, and you can see that this is going to be, that's the fastest frame, which is the S-Works, and then the fastest wheel set is going to be the DT Swiss wheel set. Now, a complete guide to all the best bikes for this course is just going to be the regular best bikes for flat courses on Zwift, and that's going to be by Zwift Insider. I do have that linked down below, so be sure to check that out for more information on your bike choice. Okay, so back to the Recon. Now, first things first, you're going to notice that lead-in is super short, 0.1 miles or 0.3 kilometers, and then you're going to want to note that that banner that you just saw me go under, it does look like a finish line, but it is also the champion sprint, so be aware of that because you can get points there. So after that first part is just going to be a very chill, slight descent, around -1, -2% gradient, and it's going to vary a bit depending on where you are in the course. But after that first banner, you are going to have a power up, so I highly recommend using that power up going into that finishing sprint, or that sorry, not finishing sprint, but the KOM. It's not really a KOM, it's kind of like the Aqueduct KOM, where there's a small steep bit, but Zwift still considers it a KOM, so it's one of those. And there are going to be kind of two main steep pitches on that climb. There's going to be a first pitch, and then it's going to flatten out a bit, and then there's going to be another steep pitch to the top of the KOM. So as you make your way to that KOM, it is going to be a bit of a ways, and it actually doesn't feel that long, because you are going to be going pretty quick, because this is designed to be a very fast course. It's a lot of rolling climbs, which kind of keeps it pace high while still incorporating some climbing into the course. Now you can see that we're still holding a very quick speed, and we are now heading up a slight ascent here, around 1/3 of the way through the course, or just over 1/3 through the course, and this is kind of just a teaser to show you what's to come. And then right here is where that little red marker starts, and you can see that I just started sprinting all out here. to kind of get a good positioning, and that's kind of what you should be doing. And you can kind of do what I did, which is start from the back and sprint as hard as possible to the front to kind of get a lot of momentum coming up this climb. You can see that I use an aero boost, and that I just flew straight up the climb, and I was able to maintain a very quick speed to the top. Taking another look at that climb, another strategy is to stay a bit closer to the front and really just try to get a solid top 10 position. But on the first few laps, something really important to note is that it is going to spread out super quick. So this is going to be the main splitting point for the group, and if you really want to split the group up, I'd consider gathering a few teammates and continuing to apply pressure over the top of the climb. That'll ensure that there truly is a split that happens, because in this part of the course, not all the riders were sprinting, and there was still a super big split, and the group was only around 30 riders. So with a group of around 40 or 50, which is going to be the ZRL finals, there's going to be a lot more potential for a good split. After that, you've got another steep pitch that gets up to around 6% gradient, so it's nothing too serious, but make sure to maintain a solid position here, because after that is a slight descent, and you're going to want to have good positioning before the group starts to accelerate. There's only a tiny opportunity for super tucking, so unless your trainer is the one that goes down to 0 really quickly, I would not recommend super tucking, because you're going to be caught off guard when you have to accelerate really abruptly to maintain a good position in the group. Alright, after that climb, or those two major climbs, there really is not that much time until the finish. From there, you have around a half mile or nearly a kilometer left before the finish, and things are going to be really fast from here. You can see that the speed is up to 35 miles per hour and holding pretty steady on this part because of the slight descent and the riders catching up that slowly increase the speed of the group. And you want to make sure that you have a good positioning going around these corners, because coming in right here is going to be another steep pitch where you're going to have time to kind of gather yourself, but we could possibly see some really strong double sprints, which is something that we can see commonly in Zwift races, where basically there's a small pitch of a climb, and that's where everyone just starts going crazy, but then some of the riders don't actually realize that the real finish is not until later on. So they end up using a lot of energy there and then have to use a lot more energy later on, and it just causes a lot of chaos, and it's really painful for the legs. Coming into the finish or champions sprint, you do have a nice flat stretch where you can just really put your head down and sprint all out to the line and see what you can do. The best power up here is going to be the aero power up, because it is going to make you more aerodynamic, which ultimately makes you faster, and on a flat part like this, it's really important to have that speed. So key takeaways of this course are to always stay alert so that you do not get caught off guard when people start surging on those small inclines. So be sure to be ready to jump on the pedals as soon as riders start to surge, because you don't want to lose that good position in the group. And next is to use your power up very wisely, because timing is really important on this course. In that finish, you don't want to go too early, but you also don't want to go too late. And this is sort of a longer sprint, I feel, and you want to be ready for a really big kick on that final steep bit before the finish line. Thank you all for watching this video. That's about all I've got for this video. So thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe. See you all next time, and good luck on the race.